everyone, and welcome back to our channel. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining me today. My name's Brandy, and I'm one half of this channel, the other half being my sister Violet. And between the both of us, we like to post makeup tutorials, makeup reviews, and skincare reviews. And we do try to post every Wednesday and Sunday. So if that sounds like something that you'd like to keep in your life, then you can hit that subscribe button right below. I do like to film all of my videos in natural lighting, so that way you can get the most accurate color representation of all the products and the color payoff and so on and so forth. So, in today's video, I will be reviewing some makeup that I did purchase at Five Below from the new Wet n Wild collection. They did revamp some of their eyeshadow palettes, and they do have some other new products as well. I'll also be reviewing some skincare that I've purchased and or have been gifted to by my family. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so first up on our list of things to review are the new revamped Color Icon 10-pan eyeshadow palettes from Wet n Wild. These are revamped like I mentioned, so this is what the old palette looks like. A completely different revamped layout. The pan sizes are bigger, so that is a good thing. I'm going to be reading off a few notes to give you guys my full review. So, after using both of these palettes for about 1 to 2 weeks now, I've gotten myself somewhat familiar with the formula and the way that they perform. Some pros that I found with these are the pigment is spot on. They're so beautiful when you apply to your eyes. The color shows up exactly the way it does in pan as it does on your eyes. It's so pretty, super beautiful. The color variety that you get in each of these palettes are great. I do love that you can get a variety of looks from each of these palettes. I do want to mention that I do think they revamped 4 out of some of their new color icons. So I did only purchase 2 of them, so those are the only 2 I'll be reviewing today. I do like other than the color variety, I do like that there are a variety of finishes in each palette. So if you wanted to do an all matte look, it's easy to do an all matte look. If you wanted to incorporate some shimmers, you can, so on and so forth. They do have a couple of shades in here that are more like toppers, which seems to be a running theme, I guess, as of late in a lot of makeup companies' palettes. The blendability of these shadows is amazing. I don't feel like there's any patchiness at all when I'm trying to apply them, and they go on effortlessly. Another pro about these is they are super affordable, so if you are looking to add some of these colors to your collection or to restock some of those types of colors in your collection, then this is a definite affordable way to do it since they are under $5. Like I did mention, I purchased mine from Five Below, but I have found them on Walmart or Target, and I believe Ulta. I haven't seen them on the actual Wet n Wild website though. Someone correct me if I'm wrong out there, but yeah, so now that you guys know all of the pros, I'm going to go over a few of the cons of each of these palettes. So, after wearing them for a full day, and by full day I mean I applied it at like 7 or 8 a.m. in the morning, and I didn't get off work until about 5 p.m. And for those of you that don't know, my main job is to dance and teach dancing. So, I sweat a lot throughout the day and be running around doing stuff, so I'm not just sitting at a desk all day. So yeah, with that said, I did notice that by the end of the day they do get kind of muddy and kind of fade away by the end of the day, but for under $5, I mean, what can you really expect? It's not really that big of a deal for me. By the end of the day I usually don't really care anyway, so I'm just gonna run home, wash my face, and chill out and relax for the rest of the day anyway. Another con that some of you may need to be wary about is that there are a few shades, specifically within Heart and Soul. They do have more than a few shades in here that have eye safety warnings, so it'd probably probably due to the pigments. There's no glitters in here, so you don't need to really worry about that. But there are a few eye safety warnings here that you can see a lot of on the Heart and Soul palette. And there is only one, yes, there's only one on the Nude Awakening palette here. Now, with each of these palettes, I did try to find a comparable eyeshadow palette that I had in my collection to compare these two. That way you can see if you have any of these palettes that I'll be comparing them to, and see if there's something that you even should add to your collection again, or if you just want to collect them, then you can. But I'll show you a few comparisons right here. Next up on our docket of items to review is the new Cloud Pout Marshmallow Lip Mousse from Wet n Wild as well. Now, this formula I did enjoy a lot. It is very not sticky at all. It's very comfortable to wear. It doesn't feel like I have anything on my lips at all after I've applied it. The only thing is it is scented. It does smell very heavily of marshmallow. So if scented products are not your thing, then these cloud palettes will probably not be something you would want to purchase. So it's not going to be a super powerful wham, bam, super intense color that you're going to get. But it is a nice wash of colors, so if you want something a little bit more subtle, then this would be the way to go. I know a lot of us nowadays are really not wearing lipstick that often. Of course, it is under $5. Again, I did purchase this at Five Below, so I want to say it was around $3 each, $3 or $4 each, so you're not going to break the bank at all. Some cons are that it does take a little while for it to dry down, and it is not transfer proof. So if you drink something from a cup, it's going to transfer over. If you give somebody a kiss on a cheek, it's going to transfer over, although I don't think we're going to be kissing many people nowadays anyway. I do have a few color comparisons that I would like to share with you guys today in this video. There are only two of these Marshmallow Lip Mousses that I will be comparing with other shades that I have in my collection, mostly because I have purchased these shades apparently many times over in various other brands, so I'll show you those there. One of those being Marshmallow Madness and the other one is Cotton Candy Skies. So you'll see how many times I've actually purchased that shade in other companies' finishes and formulas. Now, the other two that I did not swatch and compare for you guys is because I actually don't own anything else like it in my collection, surprisingly. But yeah, so here they are. The next Wet n Wild item that I'd like to review for you guys today is the new Mega Last Incognito Liquid Concealer. And I did really like this concealer. There are a few pros and a few cons to it, which we'll get to right now. So, it does claim to have all-day wear, which I did test on one of my busiest days of work. As I did mention before, I do teach dance all day, and so on my busiest day, I did apply it in the morning at about 6 or 7 a.m. and by 5 or 6 p.m. when I got home and wiped off all my makeup, it was still there. It was still holding strong and covering everything that I needed it to cover, especially underneath my eyes. I don't really care to cover too much around my face, just mostly underneath my eyes where I have some little black circles. It did blend pretty easily when I used a sponge. I even tried using my fingers to pat it out a little bit, but I do like a beauty sponge just a little bit more to give it some more hydration. The coverage again was excellent. It did cover my dark circles for a very long time. And the price point of it is under $5. So even if it didn't work out that well for you, at least it wasn't that expensive. I don't like wasting money, of course. And I don't like wasting anybody else's money and telling you you have to buy this, but if you were to buy it, at least you didn't spend like $20 on some kind of high-end concealer. Some cons about this concealer are that it is kind of drying, so if you don't put on a primer or like at least a hydrating primer underneath, then you will notice some texture and some drying underneath your eyes especially. It does have a slight scent to it, which I cannot pinpoint. At first, I thought it smelled like paint. I had my sister smell it. She says it smells like some kind of face wash, so I really don't know. It's not a heavy scent by any means, but if you wear it around your nose, you will be smelling it for a little while, and then it kind of fades away and your nose kind of gets used to it, and you don't really smell it that much anymore. Will I be converting from my all-time favorite AOA Studio Pout Concealer to this Mega Lash Concealer? Probably not. The AOA Concealer that I've been using since October 2020, maybe even before that, this is my all-time go-to. But yeah, so that is the Mega Lash Concealer. Alright, now to my favorite part, skincare. Let's review some of this skincare. Some of it is Japanese and some of it is Korean. So, let me preface this section by saying that my skin type is usually kind of dry to normal, so it's not really oily at all, unless I go a really long time without washing my face, which is disgusting, I know, but hey, we're only human and it happens, right? The current blemishes that I have are probably due to either mask wearing and the quote-unquote mask knee, or just because, you know, on the daily, sometimes we rest our head in our hands, and, you know, just acne happens when you touch your face. So don't touch your face. Don't be like me, don't touch your face. So the first item that I want to review for you guys is the Senka Perfect Whip Facial Wash. And I ordered this off of the Yes Style website, which you can find it on there, I believe, for around $10 to $12. You know, including tax and shipping, so on and so forth. And I'm trying Japanese and Korean skincare because I have tried a lot of American stuff here in the States, and I feel like nothing works. I've tried all the big brands like Biore, Clean and Clear, Aveeno, so on and so forth. I've tried a lot of them, and just none of them seem to do what I want them to do, which is control my acne, which I don't really get that bad acne, but I want it to be somewhat controlled. And if you go back and look at some of our previous videos from when we first started our channel, I believe in around October to November of last year, so October to November of 2020, you'll notice in some of the videos where I have like a really big patch of redness here, and it's kind of like inflamed and acne and all that jazz. So anyways, I thought, well, other people seem to be having some success with using Japanese and or Korean skincare, so why not give it a shot, see what happens. The worst that can happen is that it doesn't do anything. So anyways, I used the Senka Perfect Whip, and I started it in about October of 2020, and here are my notes about it. So the pros about this one are that I feel like it did even out my skin tone a little bit, and it did clear up some of the acne that I did have. It did take a little while for it to work and for it to kind of do anything. I feel like after maybe a month and a half to 2 months of using it is where I started to see like somewhat of a difference. I felt like that even skin tone was happening. I felt like my skin was a little bit brighter. I felt like after using it every single time, My face was still soft. Didn't feel like any of the natural oils were stripped of it too much or too badly. So I could still feel like my skin was my skin, and it wasn't like this tight cling wrap type of feel. It does have a floral scent. It does have a slight floral scent. So again, if scented products are not your thing, then you might not like this. I don't know. You might. The floral scent is not very heavy at all. It's really light, really soft, and kind of girly, so I kind of like it. Like I did mention, I did purchase this in October of 2020, and I've probably, after using it for the past October, November, December, January, 3 to 4 months, this is about how much I've used. I'm looking at it in the light, and I think this is about how much I've used so far. So this tube will last a very long time if you use only a little bit at a time, which I normally only use like a small dime-sized amount here in my palm. I grab some water on my other hand and I gradually foam it up. I keep rubbing it here into my palm until it creates a foam, gradually adding water as needed, just little tiny bits at a time. You really don't need a whole lot of water. And then just gradually building it up into a foam, grabbing that foam and then spreading it all around your face and, you know, gently massaging it and so on and so forth, and then of course rinsing it off. It is available on the Yes Style website, and we do have a code, an affiliate code with them. If you want to use it, I'll pop it up somewhere here on the screen. If you're interested in using it, it will get you, I think, like 5 to 10% off, maybe more, I'm not sure. I don't really promote it a whole lot. So. I have found it on other websites, and if you just look up Senka Perfect Whip on Google, on a Google search or something, then it will come up from other websites, I believe $6 to $10, so you could probably even get it cheaper than I got it. So these next few products that I'm going to review for you today are items that I received as gifts during the holiday season last month, so December of 2020, from my family. So they bought me some Korean skincare, and all of these next items are Korean. And this next item is called the Esfolio Honey Cleansing Foam. And let me tell you, I adore this product so much. Not only because of what it has done for my skin, but just the package is so adorable. The little beads, the colors, it's just so cute. And so this is what the box looks like, and then the actual tube matches what's inside what's on the outside packaging. Excuse me. And the pros to this one are the scent. It does have a honey scent. So again, if you don't like scented products, probably not for you. It does help with my breakouts controlling my breakouts and stuff. I know, like I mentioned, I do have a few breakouts here and there, but I'm only human. Things happen. It does leave my skin feeling pretty soft, just as the Senka one does. And neither this one nor the other one make my skin feel dry at all. And it is a really gentle cleanser that will cleanse off any oil or sebum, things like that, off of your skin. And it does last a long time. I have been using this pretty much religiously since I was gifted it in Christmas of last year. So about a month now, going on about a month, and I've probably only used about this much. I use the same exact amount as I do for the Senka, where it's a little dime size. Get some water, foam it up, apply that, and then wash it off. So I absolutely love this product. I think it has done more for my skin than the Senka one. And I'm so partial to Japanese stuff just because I love Japan. But hey, whatever works, works, right? And in conjunction with that, I also was gifted this Fortify natural bacteria fighting skincare. And it is a facial serum, and it's supposed to help moisturize and, you know, bring back just some moisture back to your skin. It's about like a medium-sized glass bottle, so be careful if you drop it. And it does have a little dropper up here at the top. It is made with hyaluronic acid and aloe. So it does have that aloe type of scent. Again, not overpowering, not crazy, not going to irritate your nose or anything, I hope. But yeah, so there's your little dropper, and the serum itself is not thin, but not super thick either. So what I usually do is take the little dropper, I'll drop maybe 1 or 2 drops in my fingers, rub it together, pat it on to the top part of my face, another drop, pat it on to the middle part, then on the next section of my face, the lower half around my jaw area. I'll take another drop or two and then pat that there. So just be careful not to use too much. You don't want to take like 5 drops at one time and then pat that all over. It's best to gradually pat it on. That way you can, in case if you do apply too much to your fingers, you can spread that evenly a lot easier across your face rather than squeezing a whole bunch and then trying to figure out where to place the serum, things like that. Because if you do put too much, your face will end up greasy either by the end of the day, or if you use the serum at night like I do, by the next morning your face will be kind of greasy and not very attractive. Not very attractive at all. But yeah, so it does hydrate my skin, so that's a good thing. The last item that I was gifted for Christmas of 2020 was this sheet mask set, and it's the Red Ginseng Essence Mask Sheet Set from Esfolio. Now, I don't really have a lot of notes on this one, mostly because I've only used it maybe 2, 3, max of 4 times within the past month or so that I've had it. So I'm going to tell you what I do know about it so far and how I feel using it only those few times. A few things that I did notice is that it is pretty hydrating, so whenever you undo the package and you take the mask out, it is going to be dripping a lot. So what I usually do is, while it's still somewhat in the package, I'll squeeze out a lot of whatever's left. That way it's not dripping everywhere all over the sink, and I can always kind of reuse some of that serum later and apply it again for another time. So you can get another use out of all that extra serum without tossing it away. So it is hydrating, and the scent of it is very earthy. Very earthy. I feel like I smell like a carrot or something when I applied it onto my face, and even whenever you just take it out of the package, you can smell it right away. I'm like, whoa, I'm gonna smell like a carrot. And then I had my sister smell on my face and my mom smell on my face, and she was like, you smell like a carrot. So at least I was a cute, hydrated, kind of carrot. But yeah, so those are all the notes that I have for you guys for today on all of the items that I have been purchasing over the past month or so and have been gifted over the past month or so. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much, and I will catch you guys next week in February. Have a great week. For more of our videos or to subscribe, click here on your screen.